Hi, this is David Tang. I'm a Product Marketing Manager here at Microsoft Singapore. My job is to make it easy for customers to buy and partners to sell Windows Server System. Today we're going to do a demonstration on the Small Business Server Administration Console and show you how it really simplifies the administration of a small business environment.
So here you can see my Windows Small Business Server, and I'm logged on to the standard edition of the server. I double click here and open the SBS console. Now first up, you'll notice that the administration console has gone through a number of changes since SBS 2003. We did a lot of research into the usability of the Small Business Server and really set about creating a task-driven task-driven UI that allowed our users to simply do the tasks without having to fundamentally manage the architecture beneath it. I'm going to run through some of the getting started tasks. Now we learnt that actually connecting the computer to the internet, configuring things like the network configuration, were often complex tasks to undertake in a small business environment. So we set about developing some wizards which automated this process and really simplified how connecting the network or setting the network up can be done. So I'm going to run through connecting to the internet. I go through and start this wizard, and here it goes about telling you what's about to happen. We're about to specify the IP address on your router. We're going to do some discovery around that. We're also going to look at managing the router to open the correct ports and allow the services that are required to traverse across your network firewall. It's worth also noting that Small Business Server requires a network firewall in order to be deployed. So I'm going to go ahead here and click Next. What's happening here is Small Business Server is going through and using a number of tests to enumerate the network and detect existing routers. So once it's gone through and spent some time doing this, it'll then go through and proceed and show you that it's detected an IP address or a router and show you the IP address for those. So you can see here my router IP address is 192.168.1.62 and my server IP address is 192.168.1.60. And so from here it goes about configuring different security rules, different rules required to enable the traffic to traverse across your network. I'm going to go through here and click Next. And that's it. What we've done now is configured the network of the server, configured the firewall that's sitting in front of the server using UPnP or Universal Plug and Play, and that's now forwarding the correct ports to your small business server. Now there's still more to this. We learnt that it was important to simplify how DNS was working and also looked heavily at what type of network infrastructure our customers had. And so we integrated a couple of features here. I'm going to start up and show you how to configure your internet address. Our research pointed to the fact that managing internet addresses was complex, and often there was a requirement to understand things like DNS, dynamic DNS in some cases, and also how do you provision, purchase and maintain these domains. And so we went about creating an infrastructure that made this a lot easier to do. So once again we're summarizing what's about to happen. In this example I'm going to purchase a new domain name, go about configuring dynamic DNS so I can have a dynamic IP address for my server, and then go about completing this wizard. So I click Next here. I'm going to select purchase a new domain name, but I could also use a domain name I already have and either transfer it to one of the domain registrars as part of SBS or continue to use the DNS registrar I have today and manually configure these settings. But in this example, I'm going to purchase a new domain. I hit Next. Now here, it's going to ask me for what my company name is, and I want to try to use contoso.com. So I add that in here, and I hit Next. The next screen shows me the available domain providers that are available. Now this is an open program, so other registrars can go about registering to have their registration details here as well. In this example, I'm going to choose Enom and hit Next. So what it's gone and done here is talk to Enom and found out that the domain name was available and has allowed me to go and register it. Now this can vary from different provider to different provider, but in many cases you can just click here and it will go out to the registrar's website and allow you to complete the configuration. I've already done that in this example, so I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Here what we're configuring is the ability to talk with Enom Central and manage the dynamic DNS configuration for your environment. So I have my domain name here. I'm also going to go in and add my username and password, and then hit the configure key. And at this point, the Internet Address Management Wizard has gone and configured several things. It's configured the remote.contoso.com address. It's set up my email to match that domain, and so created the default rules that go around that. It's configured my internet router and made sure that those routes are intact. And of course, it's gone and managed the domain name contoso.com. Now, all of this, depending on my type of IP connection, can either be a static IP or dynamic IP. So it doesn't really matter whether I have a static IP for all this to work. And that's really a big advancement forward as to what type of network infrastructure do you require to run an Internet Address Management environment with inside Small Business Server 2008. Thank you.